Application from the Marine Avenue LLC for a two-lot minor subdivision on Marine, between Marine, Westwood, and Maple Avenues. And this is our preliminary review and approval. Final application is our final approval. Okay, Peter, can you introduce yourself, please, and sure. We'll probably qualify you as an expert witness. And so if you just give us your background and we'll proceed with that. Thank you.
My name is Peter Twombly. I'm a principal with S.D. Twombly Architects in Newport, and I've been with the firm for 15 years. I've been licensed as an architect since 1983.
Entertain a motion to so move.
Second.
Anthony, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Peter.
I'm here representing two owners of this property on Marine Ave. It's lot 426 on Plat 9. Dan and Karen Neary are here tonight. They're owners of the southerly parcel. Just as a start, I wanted to show you the lot size and shape relative to the neighborhood. This is just a section of Plat 9. This is their Lancet. North is to that side. And basically, we're just subdividing this lot into two lots. It's really fairly simple. I think the resulting lot size will be very, in keeping with the adjacent lots in that region. I don't think, it's probably closest to the lots in the section near the water. This is Sheffield Cove and Sharp. Currently, it's I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's currently an open mowed field with a very slight pitch to the south. It's approximately 70,000 square feet in size, and as I said, we divided into two lots. The owners are planning to build primary residences there, roughly 2,400 square feet or so, somewhere in that size, so not terribly large homes. Because it's 70,000 feet, technically it could be subdivided into 3 lots in the R20 zone, but they really want to just do the 2 because that would be a more comfortable fit. The way the subdivision works is we're confronted with the coastal setback on the south. So we have to push the buildable areas towards the north. So we've taken the northern lot, starting with a 100-foot required setback, and then subdivided it roughly at a right angle, and come up with just a little over 20,000 feet. It's 23,950 square feet. And then the southerly lot is up in the 46,000 square foot range, in an attempt to try to get 2 reasonable sized buildable areas. And at the moment, we have an application with coastal pending, but the subdivision approval is required by the town first, so we can't go any further with coastal until we get your approval. The plans for the houses are very rough at this point because everything is contingent upon your approval and coastal's approval. But we know that there's a fairly high water table in that area, so we're planning crawl spaces only, so we don't go into the water table like some of the other new houses have done in the area. Town sewer and water is available, so we don't have a septic system problem. And we're planning on the lower lot, the near-ice lot, to put in a rainwater cistern and also to put in an overflow system into dry wells and a leach line. It's designed by Northeast Engineers. So there's an attempt at capturing rainwater and using it for irrigation in a good way. The driveways will be gravel for water control, and And that's really it. It's really a very straightforward application. I think, in summary, it's a subdivision that keeps the lot size keeping with the neighborhood, and I believe it's consistent with the comprehensive plan. It talks about in this part of town allowing controlled growth in areas immediately outside the village, which are served by municipal sewer and water.
Before we go on questions, Lisa, I just want you to explain or reiterate to the commission that the reason this was not done administratively, I believe, is because this could have been a 3-lot subdivision instead of 2. And that's important to discuss here because in the future, that could be an issue. Can you just give us a
This is
background?
before the board because they're creating a new lot. It would only be done administratively if they were simply amending a lot line with a neighbor. But because you're creating a new lot, it's before the planning commission. There is a potential possibly for 3 lots. It's hard to ascertain based on the coastal line and the wetlands line, but you know, there's a possibility, I suppose, in the future for a future subdivision of possibly 1 lot. Again, I don't know unless they went through the process. But did that answer your question? Yeah.
Okay, so even though we're granting approval for 2 lots, if it were at all possible, these owners or future owners could come back and subdivide again.
If it was possible to come back, it would come back as a subdivision of 3 lots. In other words, it would still be a minor subdivision, you know, depending on whether they have frontage or not. It would be the same process.
And that could very well include moving lot lines again.
Correct. Correct.
Right. The reason I bring it up, I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that, and when we do these things, this isn't, it has nothing to do with this application, but this is not always a forever process with a lot of this size.
Right.
Just for clarification, right now they potentially could come back with 3, but at some future date, the larger of the 2 lots that are being proposed, couldn't the owner of that 1 lot come back and just have a 2-lot subdivision of that?
Yeah, I think that's what Mike is referring to, but it would be considered not an amendment to this subdivision, but it would be considered a subdivision of 3 lots at that point.
It would incorporate.
It would incorporate this
So
subdivision.
if that was 100 years from now, so they'd still come back to this.
If they remember. I won't be around to tell them, so.
David, could you just show us, because we don't have this on our map, what your CRMC line is and the buffer line is? You've got
Sure.
colors and all these things.
Right, this is the buffer line right here. The edge of the wetland is this line.
Right,
And then-
right.
And then this is a buffer line. So this, basically, the field comes down to here, so they're asking us to dig up all the grass, basically replant this with approved species
Aha.
back in here.
So that's the 200-foot
So-
line?
Actually, 200 feet is just their jurisdictional line, which is way back here.
So that's the 200-foot line, and then
Right.
what's the distance between the 2 lines?
That's a good question.
I think those are your flood zone, Peter? I think those are your flood zone demarcations. That's it.
Oh, that's,
Is that your flood line?
Yes.
No, because it's
flood
just
line is
one
way down here. This is the 8 line right here, 812 line. So anything beyond that is out of the flood zone. So this is really totally off limits down here. We'd never get approval to build.
From the flood line. Okay. But then what's the buffer line is?
So this is the buffer line, which is, we've proposed to coastal, because of the odd shape of the coastal feature line, that we sort of average the buffer. So we're going from about 100 feet to about 140 in the center. So we're actually asking for a variance from coastal for about 25 feet or so. They require 125 feet. Our minimum is 100